Hey, it's Naima. I was just thinking today, again, as usual, because that's what I do. I was thinking today about depression and where it comes from and how come, so many people in the US and other countries are just so depressed and so unfulfilled in their lives, and why people are just, on all these depression medications like Prozacs and Lipitors and whatever else they prescribe for depression and anxiety. A few months back, I was going through a serious place in my life where I felt very depressed. I felt very unfulfilled. I felt trapped. I felt like I just didn't know where to go. And so I really started to, I started to see a psychologist, and I started to talk to the EAP at my job, and I started, talking to my boss. And it was just, I don't know, I just didn't know how to shake it. I took some time off from work for about a month and a half, and during that time off, I really started doing some praying and looking into like self-help books and videos on YouTube and all types of things. And because I just decided I just wasn't going to remain in that state. I wasn't going to remain in a state of depression. I wasn't going to continue to feel trapped like I did. I wasn't going to continue to feel unfulfilled in my life. I just couldn't stay there. I am a single mom. I have a 3-year-old daughter, and my daughter can't see me like this. She can't see her mom always depressed and down and unfulfilled. I don't want that to be her example in her life. And so once I started to look into all these self-help things and started to listen to like Tony Robbins, and started to listen to audios by an internet marketer named Dave Wood, when I started to listen to Jim Rohn and started reading books like The Power of Positive Thinking by Norman Vincent Peale and things like that, it just put me in a different place. And I've come to realize that my depression is because it's time for me to make a change. I had to think about it. Why do I feel unfulfilled? It's because I'm not doing anything in my life that makes me happy. Like, I go to work every day, and the work that I do, I hate. I come home every day. I, spend the little time with my daughter that I can, eat, take a bath, go to bed, and then I go to bed at, at about 10, 11 o'clock. And then I wake up and I do go back to doing something that I truly hate. Like, I feel like I'm not using any of my skills, none of my given talents. And my talents are meant to touch the world. It was just so much. So I just realized that people that are going through depression, it's because it's time for you to make a change. It's time for you to step up your game. It's time for you to go out there and start using your talents. It's time for you to go out there and start your own business. It's time for you to go out there and start maybe volunteering at the local Boys and Girls Club. It's time for you to go play that instrument that you've been wanting to play for so many years. It's time for you to take an art class, or a voice class or anything. That's what it's time for you to do. It's time for you to stop doing the things that make you feel unfulfilled every day. And you have to learn not to be afraid what's on the other side of the door. I think a lot of people do not make a change or pursue what they know will really make them happy because they're afraid of what's going to happen to their income, or they feel like, how are they going to take care of their family, or how are they going to do this? They're afraid of what, even though it's no evidence that when they pursue their music that they won't make money doing that. It's no evidence that when they pursue their passion for taking care of kids that they won't make money doing that. It's no evidence of it, but they're just afraid of what they don't know. They know they can go into a job that they hate every day, but they're going to get a regular paycheck. They know that, you know, that the income's going to be coming in, but they don't know that when they start their business, they're not going to have enough income. If that's truly what they're passionate about and truly what they want in their lives, it'll pay off. And especially if you plan for it to pay off in your life, you know? I mean, you can start a nonprofit. You can start playing at clubs, playing your instrument or singing your song or writing your poetry. You can make a profit off of anything. People do it every day. Learn to be happy with yourself and what you're doing. Learn to be an example to your child. Because you're being an example that your child has to get up every day and do something that they hate and feel miserable every day. That's the example that you're setting for your child. Do you realize that? Well, I did. And I was no longer going to do that. So use your depression not to wallop in it, not to get stuck, not to put you permanently on some depression medication, not to send you to the crazy house, not to put you in a straitjacket. Use your depression to re-examine your life, to make change in your life, to free you from that place. Because that is the point where you're fed up because you can't take it anymore. You've hit a brick wall because you can go no further in the lifestyle that you're living. So stop living that lifestyle. I know it's not easy to make that decision, but sometimes it's best to make that decision. You have to endure some short-term pains to make long-term progress. Because otherwise, if you keep on walloping in your depression, in the long term, it's going to cause much more hurt than the short term of not having an income for a month or two. You know? I mean, you just have to think of what result are you going to get from doing what you're doing every day. And if the result is greater for you to make change and step out there and do what you truly love, that's what you need to focus on. Focus on the result that you're going to get, not the short-term pain. It's just like when you exercise. Everybody focuses on how much time it's going to take to get the exercise done, or how much they don't want to, how much they're going to be tired, or it's going to wear them out, or anything. But the long-term goal is to reach a certain weight, to have more energy, to be more healthy. And enduring those short-term pains of maybe having to get up early in the morning or go after work or wait until your child goes to sleep and doing some video on your DVD player, that short-term pain is nothing compared to the pain that you'll have if you don't do it. When you're overly obese and you have no sort of energy, or you're suffering from different diseases that you need not suffer from, like type 2 diabetes or whatever, I mean, you could have overcome that with some short, quote unquote, short-term pains, but the long-term result is much, much greater. And that's how you got to think of your life. The long term is much, much greater if you were to step out there and start your own business. The long term is much, much greater to your child. What you can provide to your child, what kind of lifestyle you're showing them, what kind of example you're setting. The long-term goal is what you need to focus on. Stop being afraid to open that door to the unknown, because what's on the other side is really not that bad. So stop worrying your head about what's on the other side and sending yourself to the crazy house because you're worried about what's on the other side of the door. Open the door. Take the experience. You'll learn from it. You'll grow from it, and you will excel from it. Learn to work harder on yourself than on your job. I mean, we just really need to make a serious change in the United States and around the world, to learn to do better for ourselves, to learn to do better for our children, to learn to do better in our communities, to learn to do better for others. So take whatever frustration or depression or anxiety that you're feeling about whatever's going on in your life and use it as a motivator for change. Now, if you're really ready to make a change and start your own business, or need some help with motivating yourself, with working on yourself through audios or videos, or just really making some life changes, click the link below if you're ready. If you're ready to join me, because I made that decision. I made the decision to make a change. I made the decision that I was no longer going to be trapped and depressed and down every day of my life. I made the decision that I was no longer going to set an example for my child, that she had to be that way to make it in life. So if you're ready to make that decision, click the link below. Click the link below. Stop the depression, stop the anxiety, stop the frustration, step out on faith, and do what it is you know that you're supposed to be doing deep down within your soul. And if you don't know what it is, go somewhere and figure it out. Start listening to different things. Start opening up your mind to different information, reading books, listening to audios, going to seminars. Work on yourself. Get better. You're ready to do that? Click the link below. That's what I did. I clicked the link. I learned to make myself better. I made the decision that I was going to do what it is Naima needed to do for Naima and for Naima's child. So if you're ready, come join me. See you soon.